What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So let me ask you something real quick. Does this sound familiar? You get paid, you pay your minimums, you try to put something into savings, and at the end of the month, you're basically back to square one, wondering if you'll ever actually get ahead. If that's you, you're not alone. The average Canadian is carrying about $24,800 in non-mortgage debt right now. Things like credit cards, car loans, lines of credit, and over half of us have zero emergency funds to fall back on. But here's the thing. Today I'm going to show you a real practical system for paying off debt fast in 2026, while still building savings at the same time. Not one or the other, both. Let's get into it. In this video, we're going to cover why the pay off debt first, save later advice is only half right, how to figure out exactly where you stand, the two best debt payoff strategies, and which one is right for you, the Canadian savings accounts you should be using while paying off debt, and a simple framework to split your money so you're doing both at once. Stay to the end because I'm going to give you a step-by-step action plan that you can start using this week. Okay, if you've ever Googled how to pay off debt, you've probably seen advice that goes something like this. Stop everything. Pay off every dollar of debt before you save a single cent. And look, that advice comes from a good place. Debt is expensive. A credit card at 20% interest is brutal. But here's the problem with going all in on debt payoff and ignoring savings completely. Number one, you leave yourself totally exposed. One unexpected expense, a car repair, a dentist bill, a job disruption, and you end up right back on the credit card. You're basically running in circles. Number two, you miss out on free money. A lot of Canadian employers offering RRSP matching. If you're not contributing enough to get that match, you're literally leaving part of your salary on the table. Number three, it's not sustainable. Going to zero on savings feels like deprivation, and that's a recipe for burning out and quitting altogether. So the smarter move is not debt or savings, it's building a system where you're actually doing both strategically. Before you can build a plan, you need to know exactly what you're dealing with. I call this your debt inventory, and it takes like 15 minutes. Grab a piece of paper or open a spreadsheet and write down every single debt you have. For each one, you need 4 things. The lender, who you owe, the current balance, the interest rate, the APR, the minimum monthly payment. That's it. Once you have that list, you can actually make smart decisions. Without it, you're just guessing. Now here's a quick tip. Sort your list 2 ways. Once from smallest balance to largest, and once from highest interest rate to lowest. I'll explain why in just a second. Also, and this is important for Canadians specifically, treat your debts differently based on type. A student loan through the federal government has more flexible repayment options than a credit card. A HELOC tied to your home has different risks than a car loan. Knowing what kind of debt you have matters. Alright, now let's talk strategy. There are 2 proven methods for paying off debt faster, and they both work on the same basic principle. You make the minimum payment on all your debts, and then you throw every extra dollar at one target debt at a time. When that one is gone, you roll a payment into the next one. It's called the debt rollover or debt snowball. More on that in a sec. The difference is which debt you target first. Avalanche method. This is best for saving money. The Avalanche method means you target the debt with the highest interest rate first, regardless of the balance. So if you've got a credit card at 22% and a car loan at 6%, you hammer the credit card first. Mathematically, that saves you the most money and often gets you debt-free fastest. We're talking potentially 2 to 6 months faster and 5 to 15% less interest paid compared to other approaches. If you're analytical and motivated by numbers, this is your method. The snowball method. This is best for motivation. The snowball method means you target the debt with the smallest balance first, regardless of the interest rate. So even if you've got a $500 store credit card at 15% and a $10,000 line of credit at 8%, you wipe out the $500 first. You get that quick win, you close that account, and you feel the momentum building. Research backs this up. People are more likely to stick with a plan when they see early results. And the best strategy is always the one that you actually follow through on. Bottom line, if you're disciplined and focused on the math, go Avalanche. If you need those early wins to stay motivated, go Snowball. Either way, you're winning. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Because Canadians have some genuinely great tools available to build savings even while you're in debt repayment mode. Step 1. Build a small emergency fund first. Before you aggressively attack your debt, put together a $1,000 to $2,000 emergency fund. Park it somewhere accessible, like a high-interest savings account. This is your firewall. It keeps you from going back to your credit card every time life happens. Once you have it, then you go hard on debt. Step 2. Don't leave free money on the table. Does your employer match RRSP contributions? Even if it's only 3 to 4%, contribute at least enough to get the full match before you do anything else. That's an instant 100% return on your money. No investment on earth beats that. Step 3. Use your TFSA strategically. The tax-free savings account is one of the best financial tools in Canada, full stop. Any growth inside it, interest, dividends, capital gains, is completely tax-free. And you can withdraw at any time without penalty. Here's the general rule of thumb for deciding between TFSA and debt payoff. If your debt interest rate is higher than what you'd reasonably earn investing, say above 6 to 7%, pay the debt first. If your debt rate is low, like a student loan or a low rate of line of credit, it can make sense to also contribute to your TFSA at the same time. For most people with credit card debt at 19 to 22%, the math is clear. Pay that down aggressively. But for lower rate debt, splitting the extra money between debt and TFSA contributions is a solid move. Step 4. Consider your RRSP. If you're in a higher income bracket, an RRSP contribution gives you a tax deduction today, which means more money in your pocket through your refund. A lot of Canadians use their annual tax refund as a lump sum payment against their highest interest debt. That's a smart loop. Okay, so let's put this all together into a simple framework. After you've covered your essentials, rent, groceries, utilities, minimum debt payments, here's how to think about every extra dollar you have. Priority order. $1,000 to $2,000 in an emergency fund. Do this first, non-negotiable. Employer RRSP match, contribute enough to get every dollar of match. High interest debt, anything above 7%, attack, aggressively, using the Avalanche or Snowball. TFSA contributions, start building here once your high interest debt is under control, or if your remaining debt is low rate. RRSP contributions, especially valuable if you're in a higher tax bracket. Medium interest debt, car loans, student loans, continue paying down. You don't have to do these one at a time perfectly. The idea is to make sure step 1 and 2 are always happening. Step 3 is your main focus until the high interest debt is gone. And then you expand into steps 4 and 5. All right, where do you actually find the extra cash to throw at debt? A few ideas? Review your subscriptions, streaming services, apps, gym memberships. Add them all up. You might find $50 to $100 a month you didn't realize you were spending. Negotiate your bills. Call your phone provider, your insurance company, your internet provider. Ask for a better rate. It works more often than people think. Sell stuff. Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji. A few rounds of selling things you don't use anymore can generate a solid lump sum debt payment. Put windfalls directly on debt. tax refund, work bonus, birthday money. Before lifestyle inflation kicks in, put it straight towards your target debt. Pick up extra income. Even a few extra $100 a month can cut months or even years off your debt payoff timeline. All right, let's bring this all home. Paying off debt and building savings at the same time isn't just possible, it's actually the smarter way to do it. The key is, know your numbers. Build your debt inventory. Pick a strategy, Avalanche or Snowball, and stick with it. Protect yourself with a small emergency fund first. Never skip free money from your employer RRSP matching. Use your TFSA and RRSP as powerful Canadian tools while you pay down debt. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to have a plan and keep showing up. If you found this helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button. It really does help this video reach people who need it. And if you want more videos on Canadian personal finance, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you in more of an Avalanche person or a Snowball person? I'd love to know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.